Happy Wednesday. I have described Big Sean, I'm Scottish, as the most hit and miss artist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of his lyrics are hit and miss throughout this, but the songs are just hit after hit after hit. I really like the album.
You like this album?
I really like it.
I think the album is good. I don't think it's as good as what I think you're gonna score it personally.
What's your guess?
7 or an 8. I'd say somewhere close to that range.
Not be surprised.
Maybe.
That was Jackson.
I think that one thing that really helps him is there's about 70 features on this album. Some really great ones, obviously. Nipsey Hussle, Post Malone, Ty Dolla $ign, obviously the huge one at the end there. Lil Wayne, Travis Scott, Thug, Anderson .Paak. So it's sort of like he can't miss.
I think that Post Malone verse as well was one of the best he's done in a while.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
He didn't do the voice wobble.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't even notice that. I'm so used to hearing it. Maybe I just heard it subconsciously.
Your brain added it in.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't actually the
this
biggest
verse
fan.
is missing something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Wolves, which is the Post Malone song.
Well, it's one of my favourites.
Was it? I think it is good, but I don't think it was as good as what I was expecting. I was expecting Post Malone, Big Sean to really hit it. And one thing I didn't like on this was the skits. How many were there? 3 skits. So not incredibly bad and not intolerable. But I had to take into consideration that not everyone is going to listen to this album the same way that we do for a review, as in front to back. People would just skip over those and be like, oh, it doesn't matter.
They'll pick a feature they want.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really only in there for the diehard Big Sean fans, people that love Detroit, because obviously all 3 of those guys were from Detroit. Well, there was one woman in there too, and people that are like reviewing the music. So for me personally, I didn't listen to them the second time. Like, I just skipped them. I listened to them the first time through.
Which one's your favourite?
I think it has to be Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's classy. Talking about Danny Brown.
And Big Sean's dead.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm Scottish. Don't know what accent that was.
The one that sort of annoyed me the most was Stevie Wonder's, because you just come after that insane Eminem verse, and then it's just like, hey, I'm Stevie, or whatever he says, something like that. And then, because you can't skip it fast enough. And, but yeah, that's a tiny little gripe I had with it. Go on.
Sorry to interrupt, but the Dave Chappelle one is the only one I listen to again and again.
Oh, okay,
Just because he's such a good storyteller.
He is.
And like, the first time I listened to it, I was doing something, I believe I was just putting my washing away.
Right.
I sat down and I listened to it. And it had me genuinely engaged in what he was saying. I'm like, oh, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Who is that old man? He's got me. I want to know who that old man is. And he thought, oh, it's Big Sean's dad. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, well played. Well played.
What a twist.
What a twist. I think my favourite song of the whole album, I don't know how you rate this one, was ZTFO. I thought I rated that pretty highly.
Sex.
Nah, I rated that one.
Zoned the fuck out.
Yeah. I really just it was just like so smooth. The one with Lil Wayne was pretty good. Don Life, I think that one was quite nice. We also had Diddy. Lithuania. I don't know, Travis Scott phones it in too much for me. It's lit!
It was literally just the ad-libs, and that was it.
Yeah. And he had another one. What was the other one where he was just ad-libbing? Oh, was it ZTFO? I think it might have been, actually.
I think so.
The Guard Your Heart with Anderson .Paak was quite nice. I did rate Packers in that one.
His voice just drips with swagger.
It does. It really does.
What did you think of Everything That's Missing?
Yeah, I did like it. Was that a bit more of a slower rap song? Yes, I do vaguely remember it.
At first, I didn't really know what he was saying with like I pray you get everything you're missing. Like, I didn't quite get it. In verse 2, he starts out with new life, start with a black canvas, trying to find yourself. Move to Lost Angeles.
Yeah.
Where the camera's off, he's still not off camera.
Yeah.
And that meeting that's supposed to change your life keeps getting cancelled.
Yeah. Yeah, I do enjoy that type of music. I can't quite place that off the top of my head because for me personally, like it wasn't as memorable as some of the other tracks, like ZTFO.
That was one of my favourites.
You like that one? Wolves, I think. What did you think of the 2088 track? Yeah, it was pretty mid. I didn't really like it.
That was one of the slower ones.
Yeah. Let's talk about the big one. Friday Night Cypher.
It should have been way better.
Yeah. I agree. I only liked 2 people on it. And it was the last two, obviously. Yeah.
Royce and Eminem.
Yeah. Eminem.
In Scottish.
Literally, the first time I listened to it, I obviously assumed that Eminem would be last, which was right. And I sort of assumed that Royce would be close to him, and he was second last.
I wasn't expecting Royce. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, and one thing, as soon as I listened to it, I was like, I need to go listen to Royce again. And I just went back and I listened to The Book of Ryan, and I listened to... What was the other one called? Literally.
The Allegory.
Yeah, The Allegory, yeah. And I went back and listened to that too.
I don't think Tay Grizzly should have been on there. He's not good. And like the beat in the first half as well, to match the people that they had an 808 bass over it. And then when it got towards Royce and Eminem, it was like a bass line.
Yeah.
Which I think suited the beat much better. I like the grinding beat.
Yeah.
But that piano that they had added in was straight trash.
Yep.
Very muddy. And what did Sada Baby say? Yellow porkies look like minions.
I thought it was yellow perkies.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's what you said. I thought that was quite hard.
I thought that was...
Every clip we got extended yellow perkies look like minions, but the judges...
I think if any rapper needs to bring up minions, they've gone too far down the meme. One thing I really liked with would have to be and single-handedly taking over the game.
Yeah, that was a hard...
Like I had an actual hand missing, but I only need one hand to clap.
And then it does like the
drum.
Hard. The drum like... Yeah, it punches in. That was one that I really enjoyed.
Only need one hand to clap.
I also liked...
Bravo.
Wish you could slap in the damn clip in that motherfucking imagery. Imaginary little handgun you brandishing. Bitch, if you pull up with a stick, it's a car with a manual transmission. That's hard. Yeah. And I did like it feels like I'm being belittled by midgets. It's like holding a nuke or a damn bazooka and walking right into the middle of a little kid's fucking pillow fight with it. You want smoke? I'm like, hookah. And I did got so many fucking detractors, it feels like I'm getting plowed. Had to put my money on a diet, I got too many pounds.
That was clever.
And I do like the little throwback to Logic. He says, I don't think it would be logic for me to say that I'm retiring. But I should say bye-bye, Earthlings, because I'm back on Uranus. Quite hard. And
I think if that song ever comes up on my shuffle, I'm just skipping halfway through.
Yeah. And the beginning of it is, rest assured I'm going to treat this roof like I'm peeling off the plastic on a pill bottle. I'm tearing the ceiling off. Ceiling. That's quite hard. But yeah, what was my favourite Royce line? I liked the D-Boy Rottweiler, Sean Sarter and T standing on the corner 3 days, phone is Motorola prepaid, Deodora or Gold Elise. These are ordered on the older East Bay. I thought that was quite hard.
I liked the line about, I'm Scottish, but about the man, like a kind man.
Oh yeah, that's...
Read that one out. I don't have the lyric in front of me.
Yeah, a kind man knows a blind man holds grudges. A wise man knows a wise man knows nothing. It's quite hard.
That's quite clever.
Yeah.
Moving away from that track, what did you think of the Key Wayne verse?
It wasn't bad. I can't remember it. Some of this was... Because it's so long, like how long is the whole album?
Just over an hour 10.
Yeah, it's a huge album. So what track was that on? Let me get it up. Maybe I can jog my memory.
On track 13, Full Circle. To be honest, I don't remember his verse.
Oh,
that intro doing donuts in the Porsche at the dealer.
Listening to Dilla. Yeah, I remember that. I did like it. Spent 30,000, my Rolly became extra gold. Damn, couple years later, I'm living exceptional. Yes, I did like it.
I don't quite remember what song this is from, but he has a lyric in there. This is towards the end. Hard work don't mean shit if it ain't smart. I like that one a lot.
That's like that picture with the guy and he carves the circle.
Mm.
But then he gets to the end and he's like, I wanted a cube.
Yeah.
And then you have to cut it back into a circle. Into a cube. But, yeah, overall, I thought this album was pretty good. And I think I really like Sean for what he does with mental health. He obviously has his mental health problems and he's come out and spoke about it. And he's a real advocate for African-American males in particular to come forth and sort of speak about their issues. And a lot of these other artists that are in here do it, specifically Royce as well. Speak about that, so I'm glad that they have that sort of initiative and that wave behind them. But for me, I'm going to give this album a 6 out of 10.
I've still got a fair bit to say.
Alright, so you go, I'm done with mine.
One thing he did that I really like, he didn't seem to hide from his problems.
Yep.
He obviously had quite a hard breakup with Ginny Ao. I don't know how to say that in a Scottish accent.
You know who it is.
Yeah.
And she's on this album.
Yeah, he brought up the miscarriage that they had together,
yeah.
which obviously would have made things very, very rocky.
Yeah.
And yet he invites her to be on his album
Yep.
and says, let's work together. And
Yep.
they have a song where it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
I think that's facing your problems head on.
I agree.
And he seemed to do that quite a bit throughout the entire
Agreed.
album.
He comes across as very genuine. And I think that he does make some questionable choices in music sometimes, but I think that he's a very good person, and I think he's got his head screwed on right.
Well, apart from the anti-vax lines.
Yeah, but
What do you say?
everyone has a bit of that in there, apparently nowadays, so... Yeah, I remember that. He's like, oh, don't bring that poison near me, or something like that.
I think that was one of Royce's. What Sean said was, I can't let them easy A me.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
sir. I don't even do flu shots.
Yeah, the flu
Click
shots
with
was
me
it?
everywhere.
Yes.
Every pick a group shot. So it's not even...
It's passing. It's just a passing little shot.
Yeah,
he doesn't
it's not
exactly
related.
say, I'm anti-vax.
Well, but he literally said that the US government murdered Easy A.
Yeah. Well, they could have. We don't know.
They did.
We don't know. Well,
Not
I don't
us
know.
anymore.
I don't know. You might get done in next, mate.
Like, COVID is not real.
You reckon people will take COVID shots? Surely.
Well, they're in trial.
Yeah. But, like, do you think people will take it if they're anti-vax? Like, no, I'm not going to take that.
If they're not doing bloody flu shots, they're not going to be taking a shot for a virus that doesn't exist.
Oh, that's true. Do anti-vaxxers believe coronavirus exists?
I'm sure there's an overlap.
There's some sort of... It's like a Venn diagram where they meet up in the middle.
Probably more like that.
Yeah.
There's like more overlapping.
Yeah. That's just an oval now. It's just all the group together. It's probably those 5G towers frying their brains.
I'm going to rate this one 8 out of 10.
8.
You'll bang on with your production.
There you go. Yeah, I could move mine up to a 7 potentially. Maybe if I gave it a few more listens through.
I'm not sure if it was because I wasn't expecting much from Big Sean and I was just pleasantly surprised.
True.
But after 3 listens, I still really enjoyed the album. I don't, like, apart from the last 2 skits, I don't skip any tracks.
Yeah.
They're nice.
I'd agree with that. I think it's listenable, and I think that's valuable in today's society.
Especially
today's
for
landscape.
an album that long.
Over an hour and 10 minutes, or whatever it is. I agree with that.
Then there's not one skippable track.
I agree with that.
Obviously, I do start one of them halfway through,
Yeah.
4.5 minutes in.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't skip over anything. Very impressive to me.
Agreed.
Very good hit rate. 8 out of 10, and Scottish. A 6 out of 10 for you.
6 out of 10. 14.
So, yes, 14 out of 20. That's pretty good.
Double what 6ix9ine got. 6ix9ine have to release 2 albums for that.
Right, that's better than a poke in the eye, I believe you Aussies call it. What the fuck is going on anymore?
I've never said the poke in the eye before. I think my friend says that, Robert, but I've never heard of that one.
Alright, be sure to check in tomorrow for my album review. I did quite a crazy one. It will be worth it, I can promise you this.
Alright.
So be sure to tune in. That's a wrap.